We're going to be making homemade energy bars. A little bit of a different concept. You know, there's a number of recipes on the internet. There's a book out called the Pugbread Recipe Book. It stands for Personalized Unleavened Granola Bread. Basically, we're going to make a heavy, dense loaf of unleavened bread. So you can cut 16 energy bars off. Here's the recipe. There's a lot more information if you just go to www.pugbread.com. There's a book available with 20 recipes. There's hundreds of recipes you could make, because these are a non-temperamental bread. There's no egg, oil, leavening, baking soda, whatever in here. Anyway, I'm just going to show you real quick how to make what I call E-Z Pug. I'm going to start out with, let's see, 1 cup of rolled oats, regular oats, 2 cups of whole wheat flour. I don't sift it or accurately measure it. You can if the nutritional values are of importance to you, then you might want to keep to exact measurements so you can calculate your exact nutritional analysis. So we have 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of regular rolled oats, a tablespoon of cinnamon. I like cinnamon, I think it's very good for you. Those are your dry ingredients. Like the recipe says, mix that up in a bowl. Those are your dry ingredients. Most pugs are a base of whole wheat and oats. There's lots of other flours you can use. I've used soy flours, high protein flours, whatever. Because you're staying away from eggs and oils and leaveners, you really can't mess this stuff up. It's almost foolproof. Alright, there's your dry ingredients. Step number 2, mash and mix in another bowl. 1 banana. I like to let my bananas sit and really ripen so they get nice and soft for a week or so. So we have 1 banana. To that we're adding about 3/4 of a cup of canned crushed pineapple and juice, drained. I drained most of the juice out of that. Next, about a 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce. We're going to put in 5 or 6 ounces of prune juice. I like to use the not from concentrate one, the real stuff, with pulp if you can get it. I have my honey over here to the side in a water bath. I have a pot on the stove with a little bit of heat underneath it, kind of soften up, make my honey pour a little bit easier. And I'm going to add a cup of honey here. And about a 1/4 cup of, I like to use blackstrap molasses if I can find it. About a 1/4 cup. Okay. And about a tablespoon. I go a little bit heavy on my vanilla. I like vanilla, real vanilla. And the recipe says mix and mash. These are our wet ingredients. I got a potato masher here. When these recipes were first developed, I didn't have a mixer or any real power equipment, so that's kind of what I'm showing you here. Just for somebody that's got a few basic kitchen utensils, you can make these breads. Of course, you can get into Hobart mixers and Cuisinarts, which I do now sometimes, because the whole trick is to make 8 loaves. I'm going to make 1 loaf here, but most ovens will hold 8 loaves. Doesn't take much to make 8 loaves. I make 2 batches of 4, and when I do it by hand, I use a 5-gallon bucket, and I make 4 loaves. This is 1 loaf. I'll make 4 loaves, a batch of 4 loaves in a 5-gallon bucket, food grade bucket. That's about as much as I can stir. And do that twice, fill 8 loaf pans and fill the oven, and you got 128 energy bars. Okay. And now, step 3, combine and mix bowls 1 and 2. So we got our dry ingredients. We'll add our wet ingredients to it. And we'll mix that up. Kind of a batter. When you're making these breads, there's recipes in the book. I use avocados, I use yams, pears, fresh fruits. You can make about anything. Peanut butter. Basically, like I say, you have a whole wheat and oat base, and you're coming up with a batter here. Once you have your batter, kind of a little bit thinner than peanut butter consistency, it'll cook up. You don't have to worry about it being, unless it gets real soupy, I'd be a little concerned, and I'd throw in some more flour if it got too soupy, but it's pretty good batter here.